Hello, everyone. I'm James.
And I'm Chloe. Welcome back to the English Pulse, where we help you level up your English skills.
It's March, which means spring break is here. Whether you are a student or just looking for a getaway, families and friends are traveling all over right now.
Exactly. But we want you to describe your travels with more than just, it was nice. Today, we're sharing advanced adjectives to help you describe places correctly. We'll even provide specific example sentences for each word, just like you might see in a study guide. Don't forget the pop quiz later on. James and I will put these words into practice for our listeners.
Let's start with the landscape. Chloe, what's a place that felt truly serene to you?
I always think of the quiet, rolling hills in the countryside. To use it in a sentence, when driving through the countryside, the landscape appeared serene. It just feels calm and undisturbed. But James, if a place is more than just calm, if it's incredibly beautiful, what word do you use?
Then you need the word stunning. For example, if you go to Yosemite National Park, there are so many stunning views. I remember standing at Tunnel View in Yosemite. The scale of the granite cliffs is so massive, it actually takes your breath away. It's not just pretty, it's stunning, meaning extremely beautiful.
That reminds me of the word picturesque. This is for when a place looks like a painting or a postcard. Here's a sentence that combines two of our words. The view from the mountaintop was picturesque, and the surrounding valley was surroundingly quiet. I felt this way in a small village in the Cotswolds. Every house looked like it was designed for a movie. For those who don't know, the Cotswolds is a beautiful region in south-central England. It's famous for these tiny, ancient villages built entirely from a unique, honey-colored limestone. The houses I saw had these incredibly steep, thatched roofs and tiny windows with wooden shutters. Walking through it felt like stepping back 200 years. It was the most picturesque place I've ever seen.
Wow, it sounds like a scene straight out of a storybook. I want to visit there sometime and see a real-life fairy tale. Now, there is a contrast to that. Sometimes a place is empty and unattractive, which we call desolate. You might say, after the fire, the forest looked desolate and lifeless. It's a very negative word compared to the peacefulness of the countryside.
It is. You can describe abandoned places, old houses, or a deserted town as desolate. Speaking of peaceful, let's talk about the atmosphere. We have serene, but then there's tranquil. James, how do you use tranquil?
Tranquil specifically captures a feeling of calm and peace without any noise. You can say, I traveled to this picturesque beach with stunning views, and it was so tranquil. To me, the difference is that serene is often how a place looks, while tranquil is how it feels to sit there in silence.
That's a great point. Let's flip the script to high energy. Excited. I love a vibrant atmosphere. Vibrant means exciting, energetic, and full of enthusiasm. For example, Carnival is one of the most vibrant festivals in the world. When I was in Rio, the energy was infectious. The colors and the dancing made everything feel alive.
Talking about feeling alive, if you go to a city that is constantly busy, you'd call it bustling. You could say, Times Square in New York City is always bustling with tourists. I love the hustle and bustle of NYC, but it can quickly become overcrowded, which means there are too many people. Chloe, you had a specific experience with that, right?
Yes, I'd say the old town of Dubrovnik was beautiful, but it was definitely overcrowded. It's hard to enjoy history when you're shoulder to shoulder with thousands of people. In those moments, I actually felt like I was in a godforsaken place because it was so hot and crowded. It's a word you use when you're frustrated and the place feels unpleasant.
Oh, I know what it feels like. All of a sudden, your high energy and the excitement go away and you feel drained already. To avoid the crowds, you might look for something quaint. This means attractive because it's old-fashioned. Example, I walked down this charming cobblestone street that had these quaint little cafes on both sides.
Aw, those little cafes on the cobblestone streets. Believe me, I could sit there all day. But let's talk about famous spots. A city might be renowned for something, meaning it's famous for a specific feature. For instance, Paris is renowned for the Eiffel Tower. When a landmark is a world-famous symbol like that, we call it iconic. The Sydney Opera House is an iconic landmark.
On the other hand, some famous buildings aren't so tasteful. We call them gaudy if they're unpleasantly bright or showy. I'd say Las Vegas has some gaudy hotels and casinos. While some people think the neon lights are majestic, I find them a bit too much.
That makes two of us. I remember those night lights made me dizzy after being outside for a while, but I'm sure they're there for a reason. Now, let's turn our attention to the locations that are hard to find. If a restaurant is far from where people usually go, it's out of the way. We ate at this out-of-the-way restaurant, but the food was really great.
And if you want a real adventure, go off the beaten path or off the beaten track. This describes a place that isn't well known or popular. For example, I went hiking in Corcovado National Park in Costa Rica. It was truly off the beaten path.
That must have been special. We've traveled to some amazing places today with great describing words for different types of locations, providing a real visual guide for our listeners. James, I'm going to name a few famous places, and I want you to describe them using our new vocabulary.
Oh, a pop quiz. I'm still a bit of a student with these words, but I'll give it a try.
That's the spirit. It'll help our listeners practice for their own small talk at a local cafe or try these words around people you travel with during travels. Let's start with a seasonal one. James, now that it's cherry blossom season, how would you describe the Cherry Blossom Festival in Washington, D.C., if you've ever been there?
Let me think. It's very beautiful. Is it?
You can do better. Think about the energy and the sheer number of people there.
Right. The atmosphere is vibrant because it's so exciting and full of enthusiasm. But because everyone wants to see the flowers, the area around the tidal basin is definitely overcrowded.
Perfect. Okay, how would you describe the Grand Canyon?
The Grand Canyon, it has a lot of space.
Yes, it's spacious, meaning it's large with a lot of open space. But think about the feeling you get when you look at it.
It causes great admiration because it's so powerful. It's majestic. And from the rim, you get those stunning views that are just extremely beautiful.
You're getting the hang of it. How about Mackinac Island in Michigan? It's famous because there are no cars allowed. Everyone uses horse-drawn carriages or bikes.
It's like a picture.
Exactly, it's picturesque. But why is it attractive in that specific way?
Because it's old-fashioned, so I should call it quaint. Since it's an island that's a bit hard to get to, would you say it's out of the way?
Definitely. It's far from where people usually live. Now, Pier 39 in San Francisco.
Oh, I know this one. It's very busy. Is it bustling?
Spot on. It's very active and busy. And what is it known for?
It's renowned for its sea lions and clam chowder bread bowls. People think of those sea lions immediately when they think of the pier, so I guess the pier itself is an iconic landmark.
Brilliant. I would say it's picture perfect because its location provides postcard views of the Golden Gate and Bay Bridges. You're doing so well, James, but let's see if we can really capture the feeling of some quieter, more hidden spots. I've got a few more for you that focus on that peace and quiet we all crave. James, if you were to visit the Arashima Bamboo Grove in Kyoto, Japan, how would you describe that experience?
Let me think. It's in Japan, so I remember you saying that means it's very well kept. I'd say the forest is pristine because there is no trash and it's in such good condition. And for the feeling, it's peaceful without any noise, just the sound of the bamboo swaying. So it's incredibly tranquil.
That's a great connection. I actually visited a similar spot once, and to me, it felt so serene because the landscape looked completely undisturbed, almost like time had stopped.
That was actually fun. I feel much more confident now. I hope our listeners do too.
That's all for today's episode of the English Pulse. We hope you use these words to describe your spring break adventures.
Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Thanks for listening.
Happy travels, everyone. Bye.